it's good to be back. I'm glad to see all of you here today. I'm Tammy of Tammy's Knitting Podcast, and I will be your host for today's episode. We have a lot going on today. We have a ton of finished objects, a ton of new cast-ons. We have some acquisitions, and then we also have a few bags that we made. Not many, but a few. And then we have our gift away. So stay tuned closer to the end when I go over who won for our giveaway. Okay, so as I said, I'm Tammy. Thank you guys for stopping by and checking out my podcast. I really appreciate all of you who have done that. And this podcast I'm doing it a little different than I was doing my other ones. The other ones were mainly based on my sewing, and I'm still going to show sewing and stuff on here. But I'm going to always wear a knit, and I actually have a finished object that I'm wearing. And this is my Among the Wildflowers shawl that I got finished. Turned out gorgeous. I absolutely love it. It's all blocked and ready to go. So this is what I am wearing today. This is one of also my finished objects that I got done for this past time. The other finished objects that I got done are right here. So the one is my muscle burrow. I ended up getting this one finished for myself. Got it blocked and everything. I ran out of the gold just at the very tip as I was decreasing the last few rounds. So I just doubled my gray that I had. And I'll always know that that can be the inside or the outside. I really don't care. That little bit doesn't really bother me one way or another. But at least I was able to use all of the one skein of yarn and get that one completely done. It looks like the cashmere, the gold that was in the cashmere was actually right around 400 in some, and the gray was 440, I think. So there was a little bit of a difference in the amount of yardage I had, but still so close to being done with both of them. But like I said, with that being on the inside, nobody's really going to notice it. And I don't, if I do wear it that way, I really don't care. It's kind of cute. Doesn't bother me either way. So that was one of my FOs, one of the ones that had been on the needles for a while. The other one that had been on the needles for a while was my merino squares. I kept measuring this going, oh, it's not wide enough, it's not long enough to go around my neck. And then when I did get it long enough to go around my neck, I realized that I still had a whole nother section to go, which then made it really wide to go around my neck. But that's okay. It's a little loose around my neck and I'm okay. When I blocked it, I did seam it together even before I blocked it because I don't really need it to be stretched anymore. It goes over my head nice and easy, and it's actually very comfortable. It's not real tight around my neck or anything. Actually, I probably could try it on, show you what it looks like on. But it's real loose around the neck, which I like. And then it does go down quite a ways into your sweater and stuff like that. But I can push it back on my neck if I want it more here and pull it down on my shoulders. It's a little bit wide that I could do that, and it would stay up at my neck a little bit more. And then, of course, you guys know when I do something like that, I always do a hat to match my cowl. So I ended up doing my favorite beanie that I actually love. And I did that to match my cowl. So I have that. So that's another finished object. It wasn't on the needles, but it is done now. It was on the needles and off. These only take me relatively one afternoon to make. Not a big deal. But yeah, I got my merino squares done. I absolutely love it. I love the way it turned out. I was getting bored knitting it because it seemed like it was taking forever to get done where I wanted it to go. But yeah, hopefully that's fine. Okay, so then the last thing that I got done, and I ended up getting the Sophie scarf done that I was doing for my mom. I shipped that to her. She got it for her birthday. And I also shipped her sweater. I showed that on the last podcast that it was done. But then this is the second or the fourth thing I got done. I got my the butterfly shawl done that I did. I kind of did a rainbow effect. Yeah, I was able to get these. I thought I got video of putting my shawls on the line and blocking them because I wanted to get them blocked. And I really didn't. I had one day that was kind of nice, but it wasn't super sunny. And I wanted to block them outside because they do dry quite a bit better outside and faster. And I thought I had gotten some footage of these being on the clothesline as I pinned them to block them. But I didn't get any. I don't know what I videoed. Because when I watched it, I was like, where are my clothesline? I cut off at the very end. I don't know. You'd think I'd be okay with video, and you'd think I'd know what I'm doing, but apparently I don't. Okay, so the other thing that I got, and I showed this the last time, but they finally came, is I got my sock tubes back from Red Lady Creates. That's her handle on Instagram, and I send off sock yarn or DK weight yarn for her, and she cranks it into tubes for me. So these are some of the tubes that I got back from the skeins of yarn. I really love how when you take a skein of yarn, I look at it and I can't see this pattern. And yeah, I love the way it comes out. But I've got all of my DK weight sock tubes back from her, and I've started working on some of them. A couple of them have been picked up and are started to get worked. But there's a lot of cool, more guy weight socks here. But yeah. And I will put her information down below because she did tell me that she would be interested in doing this for other people. I've never really given her information because I wasn't 100% sure that it was a service that she offered other people. And so she does offer it to other people. So I will give her information down below if you guys are looking to have some sock yarn cranked into tubes and then figure out how to do socks. Once you figure it out, it does make it super easy for doing socks, and I absolutely love it. Now that I've figured it out, I'm able to just crank through socks like crazy. I did get socks done too. I'll have to show those. Those are actually done as well. But I was just showing you all the tubes that I have at this point, and then this very last one here. Okay, so those are all of my sock tubes, but my socks, I ended up getting the green ones done, and I've got them marked out for my heel, so I've got the stitch marker in there so that I can put in for my heel on these, and I've got 2 pairs, but I'm able to now start figuring it out and it's kind of, now that I know what I'm doing and figuring it out, they're going a lot faster. So I've gotten 3 tubes completely done now. I've got a 4th one cut, and then with the new ones that I just got, I got 2 of those cut ready to go. But yeah, now that I know how to figure it out and how to do those, it really makes it super easy to do some socks. Okay. Well, since these are right in front of me, let's talk about the bags that we have in the shop. I had a customer reach out to me and they wanted more of the book bags. These usually sell relatively fast when I have them in the shop, and it's book material, and usually I get book material that looks like it's out of like an encyclopedia or a dictionary or something like that. It's just words, and they're just, you can't really read anything on them, but you could tell that it was like photocopied from a book. But this I ended up getting, and it's actually pages of a book, and you could read these. Some of them, the wording is big enough that you could read the first chapter or whatever of a book. So I found that really cute material. I thought that was pretty cute, and I got that. So this is a medium snap. And then I ended up getting two smalls because my customer wanted a large or extra large. So by the time I did that, I didn't have a whole lot left. But I didn't quite have enough to do a small, but I thought, you know what, I could put the words, books on the top, and then I lined it with that, looks like out of a dictionary. And they have a wristlet on them. They're snaps. So these are small snaps. And ended up getting two of these. And then the last thing was some Notion pouches. And it's got the books on the bookshelf on the back. It has the pages of the book on the inside, and then it has like the words from the dictionary on the top of it. And I got a few of these. So these will be in the shop by the time this airs. Hopefully, I have a trunk show going. I don't know what I'm going to ship to them. So we'll see. Hopefully maybe one of these will be in the shop and for purchase. But so that's really all the sewing that I've been doing. I really haven't had a lot. Thank you for all of you who purchased during my 3-year anniversary sale. I so much appreciate all of you for the purchases that you made during that. It was wonderful. I appreciate every one of you. So yeah, we had a good sale. So thank you so much, all of you. Okay, well, that is it for making things and new things cast on. Well, not new things cast on. That is for my bags and stuff like that. So now let's go to what we have on the needles. And I think the only thing that was on my needles when I podcasted last was my Salia tee. And I've kind of put that in timeout only because it is a sleeveless t-shirt and I'm not going to wear it right now. So I ended up getting a whole bunch of other things cast on. Oh, maybe I did have I might have had, yeah, I think maybe I did have my Skyline. Is this the Skyline tee? I don't know. I got to look at my Ravelry. Where did I put? Oh, here it is. This is where I put it. I think it's Skyline tee. Yes, my Skyline tee. I got my shoulder pads done. I got the back done, and it's on a needle. And of course, I have 2 skeins of yarn, so I'm picking from both skeins. So I just left that one. Well, I did cut it, I guess, on the back. And then I started doing the front. And got the front one done, and it's connected, and it's just, you know, it's back and forth right now till I get to like 4 or 5, almost 5 inches, and then I can connect the 2 front to back and then work in the round, which will be a lot easier, and it won't have so many cords hanging from it. I've got needles everywhere, cords everywhere. It's crazy. But the cords are easier, or the needles with the cords on them are easier for me than the try-on tubing, because if the try-on tubing unknots and it pulls out, then I lose stitches. Where if I have a really long cord on my needles, it doesn't normally pull out. And that long cord was not a interchangeable cord, so I just put stitch stoppers on the end of it and left that. But I did work quite a bit on that and got quite a ways on that. I would like to be able to have that in the round before I go to the retreat, because then that'll be just very easy knitting at the retreat. Oh, I had this one on the needles too. The other one I had on the needles was that 70s tee. And this is now in pieces, because I have both of my sleeves done. So I have both of these panels done. I have my back panel done and getting ready to put the sleeves on that. And then they wanted you to do the front panel. So I've got the front panel started, and I've got to go, I don't know how many more inches I have to go from here down before I can put my sleeves on, front, back, and then connect it in the round. And again, this is another one I would like to have in the round before I go to the retreat, just so that it's really easy knitting and I don't have to think about anything. I'm pretty much, once I get it put together, I might put the collar on it so that I won't be done with my peach yarn, but put the collar on it so that it looks complete at that point in time at the top. I don't know. I have to see where I'm at and what's going on, but I might want to try to put the collar on just to see how it looks, how it lays. Because then I just have to put the pick up when I do the sleeves. I just have to pick up and do an inch ribbing on the sleeves with my contrast color, the coral. And those could get done after I've connected in the round, because my sleeves are already the length they're going to be, other than putting that inch ribbing on the bottom of that. So yeah, so that's where we are with that. So I definitely know those were the last two on the needles with all of this other stuff, because I had started them not the same. Well, yeah, I started this in those because I got this pattern and that 70s pattern when I was for the Heartland Yarn Adventure. So I know I started those, and then I wanted the butterfly shawl, and the grid or the merino scores was already on the needles. But yeah, I didn't do any work on the Sella, and I then again had another cast on party. So let's talk about the socks first. We got our sock tubes, and we actually, guess it's only one of them that we actually have started. I've got a top put on this. I've got it ready to put the toe on, and then I will measure and cut in half, and then I will put my cuff and toe on that, and then remeasure for my heel. I try to do it in stages. I do have quite a few size 1 knitting needles, but yeah, when you figure you have them top, bottom, and cut here, and it's a lot of needles to have in there, and they end up getting in the way. So I try to keep it so that I only have 1 needle in at a time, or 2. When I cut here, but I'll only have 1 on each sock at that time, because I'll have my toe done. Again, I'm going to do this like I did the last one. I'm going to do cuff and toe in the blue, and then heel in the yellow, And then the other sock is going to have cuff and toe in the yellow and heel in the blue. Just because it uses up the whole, both 20-gram minis for the DK. And I don't think I would use up all of it, or I would need more of one if I was to do both cuffs and toes in the same color and then the heels in the contrasting color. I'd have leftover a heel contrast, but I wouldn't have enough of the other. So it worked out really good when I did the other one, and I had just a little bit left over. So that's how I'm going to do these. It just makes it easy to do. But this is kind of like packed full of 4 sock tubes that I need to do for Christmas presents and stuff, and just get them done. So they're in here, separated, caked up, ready to go. And I will just, when I get one done, I'll figure it out. Even if I don't do the heel, which I probably will because I know the size of the foot that they're going to, so I can absolutely do the heel. Do the heel and then turn around and, cast on or pick up stitches for the next one. But yeah, absolutely loving the socks. It makes it so much easier to get a pair of socks done. By able to, once you figure out how to separate those and do all that, it's so much fun. Okay. Well, I guess the next thing I will talk about, I ended up casting on another Musselboro hat. This is actually, the increases are all done, and we're just knitting, straight knitting at this point in time, which, makes it easy for, to take with me little light projects. This is another one that I plan on having while I'm at the retreat. It's just a quick pickup when I don't feel like doing anything else, and just knit for a while. I am holding 2 skeins of yarn double. It is my Gusto wool that I got when I was for the Yarn Discovery Tour. When I did that, I ended up getting these 2 blue skeins of Gusto wool, and I cast on a Musselboro for my brother-in-law. He liked this yarn, and his favorite color is blue, so I cast this on for him, and I will just work on this and get it done when I get it done. It's not something that needs to be done now. When I get it done, he gets it. I'm not in any hurry. It just allows me to work on things and get them done. Okay. The next thing that I have, this is new cast on. So this is, let me get my tablet. It shut down on me again. If I don't open and keep it open, it keeps closing on me. Okay, so this is Arco Iris sweater. ARCO. I think it's Arco Iris sweater. Let me get a picture. I don't think I showed it. I might have shown it that I was going to do it. I don't think I had cast it on yet. I can't remember. It's been so long. I didn't say today's date is October 20th. So it's been over a month since I had videoed last. But this is the pattern that I'm going to do, that I am doing. Well, I don't know what it went to at that point. I don't know what I picked. Hopefully you got that. Okay, still there. I'm using 2 skeins of lace weight yarn that I got from Christie's Fiber Arts when she was having her sale in the spring, and I got this really pretty teal blue. Absolutely love it. Really pretty blue. But I got some lace weight. I was like, I'd never worked with lace weight, and I thought, you know what, I'd like to try. And my Skyline tee is actually waist lace. I had never had waist lace until lace weight. Wow. That was hard to say. Until the spring when I got this, and then I ended up getting that from the retreat. But it's worked flat at this point in time, and I think it's worked flat for, this is like the yoke sleeves. It's doing your raglan sleeves here, and you'll do them out for until you get it to the point that you can connect this together here at the point, and then I think you're separating for your sleeves. And then you have a collar that you put on. It's like a 2-inch rib collar you're putting on. And the sleeves are 3/4 length. Yeah, I figure I've got enough other different colors. If I need to possibly put darker cuffs, or even the ribbing at the bottom or the ribbing at the neckline in a different color because I don't have enough, I'll be fine with this. There's almost 950 yards in this, and I think I only needed 875 in DK weight. So yeah. But I'm just working at this a little at a time. I sit down and I'll pull out my pattern, and everything I have right now requires me to pull my tablet out and do exact pattern, except for the muscle burrow now that I've got it just in the round. So I'm hoping, again, this might be another one that I can get in the round, connected in the round, and then just do the body while I'm at the retreat. I say that, and I bring so many projects. It's only 3 days. It's not like I'm there for 19 days and have to figure out projects. But we all know you get a little tired of one project, you want something else. So I usually bring everything that I'm working on, just because that way I can take and go, oh, well, I'll work on this for an hour or 30 minutes or whatever. But yeah, so that's that one. Some of these I might actually get them off the needles before then, or, like the socks. I plan on taking some socks and sock tubes and working on some of them. Because I had some of the girls, interested in wanting to know how to do those. So I thought, well, I could bring it and show. Okay, so the next thing that I am working on, that I started and finally got on the needles, I know I talked about it, but I did not have it on the needles. I might have showed my yarn that I was going to use, and that is the Spectre. That is this pattern here. So it's a long sleeve fingering weight sweater that I have, that I am working on. I ended up getting it cast on and got the neckline ribbing done. I'm now increasing it for to do the yoke. I'm starting to get it to the point for doing the yoke and stuff like that. I'm gonna keep this yarn through the whole yoke. Hopefully I have enough of this. All this yarn is from Cornbread Honey. I had gotten these two, maybe I'll show that way. I got these two when I was at the Yarn Discovery Tour. And so I started with the peach. But I don't think I'm going to keep using this. I don't think I'm going to use this one, because when I read a lot of the notes on Ravelry, they had said that a lot of people said that they didn't need as much yarn as it called for. If they worked out their yoke in the first solid color all the way so that they didn't have to switch colors during their yoke, they only really needed 3. So my next one would be this one. After this, it was going to be this and then this. Well, the yellow was what I was worried about to really cause me some issue. And then after that, it was this brighter pink to add to the bottom. So I thought those are the 3 I'm going to use. I'm still keeping that one in here in case I do need it. When I get closer to where I'm at, if I think I'm going to need it, I will put it in and maybe just use a little bit of it and not put a ton of the yellow in there, because there's no yellow in the other 2. The other ones have more of the pink color, but we'll see. Like I said, I don't think I read a lot of them, and a lot of people said that they didn't use all 4 of their skeins. They only used like 3. Some people only used 2.5. Depending on the size that you made. It doesn't really call for 4 full skeins, but you want to do a fade. And I thought if I could do a fade with 3 full skeins, I would be okay with that. It doesn't need to be, and if my arms are only 3/4 length, or, I mean, yeah, they just don't have to be as long. So we'll see. I don't know. I've got it here if I want to, but if I don't want to put it on, I don't have to. So that's that one that I got cast on. Okay, so the last one that I just got cast on, and there's one more I've got caked up and ready to go. I just have not had the time to get it cast on. I have been enjoying knitting some of these other projects, and this one basically is my really fun one to knit. And this is Lady Whistledown. Okay, I'll show you the picture before. So this is from Lyrical Knits. And I'm going to do that pattern. I thought it was really super cute. Okay, just wanted to get myself back to where I was at it. Okay, so this is what I've got. Oh, come here. This is what I got. I think it looks so pretty. I love the colors. This yarn is from Elk and Me. When I was at the Yarn Discovery Tour at Longtail Knits, I ended up getting this skein of yarn, which I absolutely love. It's gorgeous. And I had bought a turquoise to go with it, but it wasn't quite the right color. When I got it home, it just didn't make it pop. So I saw her when I was at, when I went to the East Aurora Fiber Fest, and I talked to her. Course, got more yarn, but I talked to her and I said, yeah, I think I really need to get a teal that matches that. She goes, I'll dye one for you. And she did. And they look gorgeous. Absolutely love it. And yeah. So that is my Whistledown, Lady Whistledown cowl that I am doing with my 2 skeins from Elk and Me. I absolutely love it. It is so much fun. Yeah. It's going to be a bandana type cowl. I'll be able to you stitch it right here, sew it together here, so it's kind of at an angle when it's on you. Yeah. I absolutely love it. Move my stitch marker so that I know where I'm at when I podcast the next time, if it's before a month and I have this already done. But I made a mistake in this, and it was really, really obvious. So I ended up taking it apart Saturday evening and got it back to where I was. And then yesterday I did a bunch of this. So I did 4 or 5 rows yesterday on this. But yeah, I absolutely love the colors. I think it pops really good. I'm going to like it. Gonna definitely like it. It's going to be another one of my favorite ones that I will wear because I like the brighter colors. But those are all of the new cast-ons that I have done. A lot, but not a lot. it's a lot. I mean, I got a lot off the needles, so it doesn't seem like there's a lot, but there's 3 pairs of socks in that bag. So when you go 3 pairs of socks, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, there's 9 projects. I had 13 at one point, and I only have 9 left. Okay, so that I guess is all of my finished projects, my current and previous whips. Let's go into acquisitions. And, you know, I absolutely love, I love what Tanya does with yarn. And, you know, I don't know. I can't stop buying it. And not that I need to, because I absolutely love it and I want to buy it. But, yeah. Okay. So during the yarn discovery tour, she had a colorway that she had dyed for the yarn discovery tour. And when I got there, they had sold. That was more of a popular color, and it sold relatively quick. And she said, well, I'm going to be dyeing more. I said, well, dye me up one, because I absolutely love it and I would like it. So yesterday when I was there, I got my colorway. It's got the fluorescent yellow green in there, the bright turquoise and blues, and then some purples and a little bit of pinks and flecks of stuff. I absolutely love it. And I asked her, I said, hey, do you have my skein from the Yarn Discovery Tour? She goes, I do. She couldn't find it. So she goes, I'll just dye you some. I said, well, since you're dyeing, do 2. That way I can do a sweater or something with it. So I got 2. Because, you know, you gotta have 2. So I got 2 of those from the Yarn Discovery Tour. And yesterday, if you guys saw my post on YouTube on Sunday, she had her anniversary party, and it was 2 years of her owning her shop, and she did these cute little bags. Inside the bag was a scratch off, and then she gave tape measures, which cute little tape measure. Who can't use a tape measure? And then she dyed a special colorway for her anniversary, just in these micro mini skeins. Well, she also dyed 5 contrasting micro mini skeins to go with it. Isn't that gorgeous? I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I had to get them. So these are 10 grams. So I've got 10 gram minis. And she usually does a micro mini, a 10 gram mini for, you know, when she's doing, you know, like she did one when she does a giveaway, like a, for the Yarn Discovery Tour and the yarn, she does a micro mini to go in the gift bags that she gives out. So I have a ton of micro minis from her. I've gone to 2 of her local yarn store days, and she's given them away. And into packages and gifts and stuff like that, she's given them away. And I don't know what I'm going to do with them. Now I've got all these beautiful colored ones. And I don't think they'll all go, these ones all go together. I don't think they're enough to do a full pair of stripy socks. I don't think so. But I don't know. You know, you could do top, split it in half and do your ribbing with this. Then you could go with the next color, split it in half and go as far as it takes you. And then do your heel and say this because it's a dark color or darker, you know, pick your order of what you want. Or you can do this for your heel as it's contrasted in the middle. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to have enough, and I might. And that might be what I end up doing, is just doing a pair of really stripy socks of my own. I normally only do mini shorty socks. They're only usually, a little bit. So I don't know. And this is sad to say, the number of socks I've made, I've never, ever measured or weighed my yarn when I was done, so I knew how much I did for each thing. I just knit and go on with it. If I don't have enough, I add something else on. But that's the only thing I'm thinking, that I might end up taking these and doing a pair of stripy socks for myself. Because I'm the only one that wears the socks. So I don't know. I don't know. But that's what I've got. I got those yesterday. So one was free, the other 5 I bought. Okay. And then, of course, she, put out for Taylor Swift, Life of a Showgirl. This was the colorway that she did for that. And then she ended up putting out Tangerine Tango and Teal the Show. Well, I had to get all 3 because they're absolutely gorgeous. And I love them. I do not know what I'm going to make with them, but I had to get 3 of them, all 3 of them. So I ended up getting those yesterday. I do need to go on a yarn diet. Yes, I hear you saying it. And I might. I don't know. I do have a lot of yarn. A lot of yarn. But I am making projects with my yarn. So we'll see. I hope I don't. Yeah, we will see. I absolutely love these colors. I mean, I like orange and I like teal. So we'll see. Like I said, I don't know what I'm going to do with them, but I do know I absolutely love them and they're a perfect color. I just have to find the right pattern that I want to make with all 3 of them, where they're going to pop. Because, they need to pop. For the monthly colorways, she's doing those 3 months at a time. So I didn't get I think I got September last. No, I didn't get September. Let's see. August, June, July, and August is what I got. So she will, and she might end up waiting till the end of the year and do all 4 of them. And she'll do September, October, November, December. Because like she said, it costs her the same amount to ship 1 as it does 4. She pays for the shipping. I mean, I usually go pick mine up, but she pays for the shipping. So she's just, she put it out there and she's just waiting so that it's not coming monthly, that it's coming, every 3 months or every 4 months, which is fine. But yeah, we've got all kinds of extra stuff, but that is it for my acquisitions that I have. Nothing really great going on there. I do for Tammy's Homesteading Crafts for the website. It's always open. There's a bunch of bags on the website. If you see something, grab it. I haven't put a whole lot of new bags on there, but I did have a bunch come back from different trunk shows that stuff was sold out and stuff went back in stock. So check out, there might be something that you want that's back in stock. I do have a trunk show starting November 6th and that is Skeins on Main in Michigan. So I will have my stuff in her shop for, I think it's 10 or 11 days. It's a little over a week. I think it starts on a Thursday and ends the week later on a Saturday or a Sunday. So it's a little over a week long for a trunk show. There is some sort of a yarn crawl or something, some kind of something going on, that she wanted my bags for that time. So if you guys are in that area, stop on by. The bags will be there. Stitch stoppers, yarn koozies. Yeah, a little of everything is there. So yeah, so check it out. But that's where I'll have her information linked below. If you guys are in the Michigan area or close to where she is at, you can stop in during the whatever festival she has going on there that they have at that time. I think that's it for today's video. I don't think there's anything else that I need to talk about or show. I have a bunch of fall bags cut out. I just have not been feeling all that well lately, and I have not really wanted to sew. Yeah, I've had some sewing that I've needed to do for orders, and I'm getting those done. But I still have a number of bags, and I just didn't want to make more bags that are going to sit in the shop. I do, however, have some fall bags that I'm going to try to get put out here in the next couple of weeks. We'll see. I don't know. I mean, the website's doing great. It's just, you know, it's a slow time of year right now. I don't know where I'm going to be for Black Friday or Small Business Saturday. I don't have a festival going on. I don't have any place I'm going to be. I might drive over to Cornbread Honey and spend the day there. That is my birthday, so we'll see. Who knows what I'm going to do that day. If it's not snowing, like last year, it snowed. I didn't go anywhere for almost a week. We had snow. We had 5 feet of snow, or close to it, in a week time. So, I mean, I didn't go anywhere that week. That was a really bad time for anybody to have shows out there because people weren't getting out in our area. Other places, it was fine. You know, they had, you know, people showing up and buying. But I don't have a trunk show going on at that point in time anywhere. So my last trunk show is November 6th at Skeins on Main. So that's the last one I'm doing this year. Like I said, it's been a crazy year. It's been a little stressful, and I did step back a little bit as far as getting everything out and doing everything. And my health has changed a little bit since then. I'm going through a little bit of some health issues right now that I need to get taken care of. So hopefully with the next couple of months, I can get back on track where I need to be and feel a lot better and get back into doing more and having the energy to do more. Right now, I really don't want to sew. I've made myself sew because I had bags that I needed to finish for orders and different things, and I did. I got them done, but I just have not had the want to do it. And I'm hoping in a couple of weeks here I'll start feeling a little bit better, and I will want to get in the sewing room and do some sewing. I did a whole bunch of cutting a couple of days ago. I was feeling pretty good, and I did a bunch of cutting, and I got a bunch of fall bags cut out. But I'm behind on the fall bags, and you know, I probably will have a sale on the website during, you know, Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, Cyber Monday, you know, that whole weekend, you know, starting before Thanksgiving and lasting till the first week of November or December. Most likely we'll be doing a sale at that time since we're in no shows or anything like that. So keep an eye out for all that kind of stuff. And thank you guys for responding and everything. Oh, the giveaway. The gift away. We had, I was for my 3-year anniversary for Tammy's homesteading for the bag making business. One of these bags came back, and it's an odd bag. There was nothing with it. It was just an odd bag on itself, and I thought, you know what, I'm not putting it on the website. I will just use this one as the giveaway, the gift away for the 3-year anniversary. So it is a skeins of yarn. It's got purple on the inside. Really cute bag, purple tag. And then it also comes with a notion pouch. This happens to be a pink notion pouch, and it's got the knitting to knit or not to knit, all of that kind of stuff there. On the inside, it is literally filled with, it's got a yarn koozie in there, so it's a knitted yarn koozie. It is for a 100-gram skein of fingering weight. It has got a set of stitch stoppers in there. It also has a tape measure. It has a pair of purple scissors. It's got a darning needle. Hopefully you can see that. Cover my face. It's got a darning needle, and then it's got a needle threader. It's got some other progress keepers and stitch markers together. These are flag ones. And then some from 716 Knit, some plastic stitch progress keepers there. And a bunch of stickers. So I just picked a bunch of stickers that I had to put in there of different ones. So yeah. So I think it's a cute, I mean, it's a full notions pouch of whatever thing you could carry with you when you wanted to do anything. So this was the gift away. I asked everybody to tell me something that I didn't know about you, and I learned a lot about my followers. They all told me something that I didn't know, and I am so grateful. I absolutely super love that. And the winner is, so it is Kathy Bellcrossed 973 is the your YouTube user. So Kathy, if that is you, reach out to me at Tammy's Homesteading Crafts gmail.com and let me know that you are the winner of the gift away so that I can get your address and get that shipped to you. So congratulations. Thank you. And actually Kathy's response, I had just met her the Saturday before when I was at Cornbread Honey. I was there on the last day of the Yarn Discovery Tour, the Saturday, not the Sunday of the last day, but the Saturday of the last day of the Yarn Discovery Tour, and her and her husband came in. They were doing the Yarn Discovery Tour, and I got to meet her. So it was so funny that, you know, when she came across my podcast on YouTube later that day, or the next day, or whenever it was, her response is, I met you at Cornbread and Honey on Saturday, and I absolutely loved the shawl or the scarf that you were working on. So I told her which one it was. It was my merino squares that I had finished. So congratulations, Kathy. It was nice to meet you, and I hope to get to see you more at Cornbread and Honey. Okay, guys, that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for sticking around, watching, subscribing, commenting on my video. I really appreciate all of you that take the time to do that. And I will see you when I see you. Guys, thank you for being patient with me, and I appreciate all of you. See ya. Bye.